What's going on, y'all? Thanks for tuning in. Norb here from AP Shield. Make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Today I'm going to be showing you how to wrap the front bumper of a new style Civic Type R FK8 in XPEL Ultimate Plus paint protection film using the XPEL DAP software cutout. Looking at it closely, you can tell that the bumper is quite complex. There is a lot of coverage. We will be wrapping everything from the entire bumper to the little fins located beside the fog lights to even the badge. Stay tuned. If you have any questions, hit me in the comments below and let's get started. So before applying any paint protection film, I already washed down the front bumper. I'm going to add a little link above to teach you and show you how to do it properly, or at least the way that I do it. What we're going to do is be working from our top down on the bumper. So again, all the pieces, there's plenty of pieces for the XPEL DAP software cutout. We're going to be working from the top piece, working our way all the way down. So first, we're going to begin with the top piece. Next piece I'm going to put on is the trim right above the headlight. So what we're going to do, let's move the camera a little bit, there we go, is line it up closer to the grill first, get that angle right and make sure that the rotation's proper. We're focusing on this lineup right here, squeegee it down. And now we'll be able to stretch it outwards. Now we're going to repeat the same on the other side. So next panel that we're going to be putting on is going to be this grill piece right, I guess, in between the two headlight fins right above the Honda logo. A little bit tricky. We got to start off on one side, make sure that it falls into place and there is a seam coming across, plus there's two little panels that wrap around over here. So what I like doing is starting off along the top, center, lining up the fins, slowly working my way out. So let's say starting from here, line it up, make sure the rotation's proper. Push here, so all of this falls into place. This will drop down, squeegee along here, and then push everything into place. The seam's going to line up perfectly, and then repeat on the other side. I locked in the entire top piece starting from right above the logo, the emblem, the Honda logo. There's little fins that falls into place, everything else gets wrapped in. Do the same thing on the other side, and now we locked in one side, going to the other, to the outwards towards the headlight I should say. And what we're going to be doing now is, just so you guys can see a little bit better what I was doing, there is a, I guess, kind of like the emblem pops out of the grill a little bit. So the lineup, you want it that it wraps around. It's a little bit difficult to see, but there is a lip that if it's wrapped around properly, it should kind of wrap around the grill area. So what we want to do is, again, keep this area right above here wet with slip solution. That way it helps avoid lift lines or pull marks. I'm going to grab some tack solution, spray this, and then with my finger from the top, working down, I'm going to make sure that the edge of the PPF lines up right against the Honda logo right here. So if done properly, there should not be any fingers or any bubbles over here. And then I'm going to lock in maybe about 2 or 3 inches beside the Honda emblem. Again, tack solution, little piece over here, you can see that it's lifting up a little bit. I'm just gonna, first what I'll do is wrap it around. Again, it lines up perfectly. Over here it butts up, it's not overlapping. So we know that this alignment's good. And now before I squeegee everything here, what I want to do is hit it with the tack solution. Grab my finger and push it into place so it does stay down. Hold it for about 5 seconds. There we have it. Now I'm going to work my way over a little bit here. Again, it's a black car. It's a little bit difficult to see. Let me see if I can pull it back a little bit more. There we go. And then same thing. What I want to do first is I want to lock the PPF right up against the seam over here where it begins. The reason why is if I'm pulling now, let's say if I didn't lock it up until here and I pull it, you'll notice that there's going to be a finger that starts forming along the top, which we don't want. We don't want to have any tension anywhere. So I'm going to lock that in. That's staying down perfectly. And we'll go about an inch after where the seam is. And then we'll give this piece a little stretch. Again, tack solution. Line it up. Squeegee everything out. And there we have it. The grille and the side fins of the grille above the headlights are wrapped. The upper piece of the bumper is wrapped. Now what we're going to do is work to the piece right below. Okay, so now we have another tricky piece, which is the grille right below the emblem. There are not really any good reference points to start with, just because every single area does have a stretch. So what I like starting with over here is lining it up. There's a seam right along here where it lines up to on the grille. Have the rotation going so this piece does wrap around, and we want to make sure that the grille over here, that the piece along the bottom does line up. At least that way we know that that's the proper alignment. So again, I'm going to spray a little bit of tack over here, a little bit of tack, and tack here. And again, all I want to do now is make sure that everything's going to be lined up and that it didn't shift. So now what I want to do is grab the film right here, just kind of behind the Type R badge, or to the left of it I should say, and push the film until the alignment falls into place. And again, I'm paying attention to make sure that this is lining up along the bottom and that the top end is lining up as well. There we are. I think these are the more complicated, at least these two pieces of the Honda Civic Type R bumper are the most complicated. Everything else is pretty straightforward. Now we're going to move on to the actual bumper itself. Okay, so now that we put the bumper on, we will start applying the PPF film. So first things first, again, with the Civic Type R, it has a lot of gradual curves going everywhere. So no real good reference spots to start in the center, somewhere here or closer. So where I like to start is going to be around the corner of the bumper. We have a good reference spot along here. We just want to make sure that there's going to be enough tension that the film's pushed all the way over, that we can kind of position the film gently without too much stretch, and then we'll get started. So I want to feed a little bit more film towards the wheel arch. And now we are good to start wrapping. So where I like to start and begin is going to be along the top end near the headlight, where the bumper meets the fender. We get to line it up nicely here. We get to check the angle right along here as well. Hopefully you can see it. So we're checking for this angle. We're making sure this angle is proper, that the film lines up, and the same thing, that it meets the fender perfectly. And again, it's crucial to make sure that you begin with that perfect, I guess, 1/16 of an inch gap both ways, all around. So along the headlight, you want to have a nice gap, and along here you want to have a nice gap, and make sure that it's aiming going this way properly. Everything else over here is going to line up and fall into place, and then we'll be able to work our way outwards. So again, like I said, start along the headlight, we'll work down. So now what we got to look for is make sure this alignment's going to be good, and then we're going to push this down a little bit to make sure that these guys fall center along here, and then we get rid of this finger a little bit as well. So now down here, what I want to do is spray some tack solution. And again, there's going to be this little hockey stick, I guess you want to call it that, that should be able to fall right in without any fingers or any tension. And on top of that, there's a body line right along here. So we're going to make sure that we pull the film enough that it hugs everything all around. And now we'll be able to line it up, push that down, there we go, that falls into place now. Little bubble. Again, we got everything without any fingers, any tension. This is all going into place nicely. And as you can see, nothing's overhanging anywhere, and it lines right up against all the body lines. So this body line lines up, this ends perfectly here. All of these little fins drop into place. It's not going in too far, it's not coming out too far. Everything falls into place perfectly as it should. So now we're going to be doing the lower bottom fin. Again, there's a cutout right along here, this little smiley face, that should be lining up right against this edge. And then this over here is going to fall right into place. Again, there should not be any fingers or any tension, or the film shouldn't be lifting. So we just got to take it from here. There's a little piece of dirt, got it out. We're going to take it, we're going to push it into place. Now, this lines up, this over here is going to fall into place neatly, and everything else, this lines up properly too. So we are good to lock it all in. And now we're just going to repeat everything on this side. So with these little bottom pieces, what we have to do is simply line everything up. The PPF already lines up. There's a seam along here and a little relief here. So what I want to do is make sure this somewhat lines up for now. Adjust everything down here. Again, I can tell the seam's lining up perfectly. It's butting right up against it. Now we've got these little guys to line up, so tack, line up the top edge, fold it down below, squeegee everything up. Okay, so these little fins are done. This surround is done. Now I'm going to work around this piece. I'm not sure if you guys noticed, I did put it on dry, just because I want this to tack down a little bit almost instantly. We're just going to line it up. I sprayed a little bit of slip, I should say, prior. Now I sprayed a bunch of tack on it. Start off from this 90-degree corner. So this surround is done already. Now we just have the fog light left. Fog light trim is a little bit tricky. The cutout is an awkward shape. So looking at it, there is going to be one reference point that you do have to start from and work your way outwards from. So on the cutout, there is a little tiny point. That point lines right up against there. And then the seam is going to be at the very bottom. So what we're going to start from is, I want to spray a bunch of tack here, rinse out some of the slip solution. We'll apply the PPF. And what I'm doing is using the very outer edge as a guide. I'm going to slowly keep on applying it that way. And same thing here. Okay, we butted this up now. So the whole outer edge is wrapped. And now we're going to work on the inside. So brought the camera a little bit closer so you guys can see a little bit better. Again, we started off at the very outer edge, and now we're working our way to the inner edge. Notice there's barely any tension over here. Everything's been applied pretty well, so I'm happy with it. I can start squeegeeing everything out. And there you have it. That's how you wrap the fog light trim. Notice there's no fingers anywhere, no pull marks, no stretch marks, and the film, the template lined right up against the fog light. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Again, that was a detailed installation video of a new style FK8 Civic Type R front bumper wrap, including the grille, logo, everything. If you guys have any questions about anything, let me know in the comments below. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And again, thanks for watching. See you next time.